This is the book which we would be looking at in relation with quality service management, written by John Peppers and Martha Rogers. Um, Whenever you are starting to read out any book, I think it is important to know a little bit about the authors. So I would encourage you to run some Google search on the authors. That will help you understand where they are coming from, their experience, and all those things. And then that might excite you a little bit more in terms of getting some interest in reading the book. The title of the book is Managing Customer Experience and Relationships. Yeah. So this course is quality service management. In service, you are giving some type of services, you are managing some type of services for your customers, but you want to make it as much as of a good quality as possible, looking at your customers and your own resources and your own limitations and whatever you have there. So in terms of uh, the the course, please try to reflect a little bit on the course title, Managing Customer Experience and Relationships. So there are two things, as a matter of fact, three things. So first of all, you should consider or think about customer experience. What is the experience of the customer, whatever service you are going to give them, so their experience. Then customer relationship. So one thing is experience and one thing would be relationship with your customer. uh, Standard relationship, where you are just meeting their standards, the basic requirements, or maybe you are exceeding the requirement of the customer, or maybe you are not even meeting the required requirements of the customer. So that is going to enhance or degrade your customer relationship. What I would like to for you to really reflect on this term managing. So what I am thinking about is, and you would think based on your own experiences, that customer experiences, it is not saying that you are going to always have customers who are going to have very satisfied type of experiences, very good experiences. It's not about that. And same with relationships. It is not going to be that the customer will be always satisfied with whatever relationship you are providing them, or whatever relationship they have created with your company, organization, or individually speaking. What it would be is that management of that customer experience, management of that customer relationship. So in the overall scheme of things, you would have to think about this, that the customer's overall experience, where it is lying down, at what rate it is performing. Same with the customer relationship, in the overall scheme of things, where is the customer relationship. So it is not going to, what I'm trying to say is that customer experience, if you are thinking that always, all the time, customer experience should be exceptional, fantastic. Yes, it is possible. I'm not saying it is not possible, but it is going to increase your cost. And business is all about, looking at what is your expenses and what is the profit you are making. Same thing with the relationship. All the time, always having good relationship with the customer. It is possible, theoretically speaking, and some companies maybe can also do it for their select clients, the clients which are paying them, the clients from which they are maximizing the profits, or they are giving them more business. Maybe with them it is possible, but overall, in the overall scheme of things, it is all about management of the overall customer experience, management of the overall customer relationship. So I think that you need to think about. As we are talking about this, you need to think about the services which you like, which you enjoy, locally, internationally. We are in the times of online activities are increasing and increasing because of COVID and whatever is happening in the surroundings. So online, you can think about it. If you have to do business face to face, even before COVID times, you can think about it, that what are some of the characteristics. First of all, you should think about which services you like, online or offline, which services you like, which services uh, you admire, which customer services you really appreciate. Give me some ideas, please. As I think, yes, all of you are familiar with me and I'm familiar with you. So I should, you know how we discuss various concepts. So please go ahead and tell me about any customer, any service you like. What type of services you like? Is there any, like your bank? Is your bank giving you a good customer, good service which you are liking? Maybe how is the service of weekend school? Are you satisfied with the services your university is giving you at your work? Are you satisfied? The place where you get your meal, your lunch, are you satisfied? What, or online, international businesses, are there any services which you like? And if you can say a couple of lines why you like them, why is it that you mentioned, when I ask you, when someone asks you whose service is good, why you select that service? What is the deal maker for you? Yes, Kimberly, please go ahead.
Everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes.
So, one service which I admire is NCB. I
Okay.
remember in recent times I wanted to apply for a card with NCB, and I was weighing between NCB and Scotia, and the fact that NCB offered a fully online service where I could still communicate with an officer and I could get updates, but I didn't have to leave my home to
Yes.
actually do the application, and I got good customer service. That's one of the companies that I admire. But with the other institution, they would have wanted you to come in, which was not something that I was willing to do. But that's one of
Hmm.
the institutions that I admire with their service.
Very, very interesting example. So our local bank, NCB, all of us are familiar with the bank. Um, in COVID times, they decided that they should treat their customers online, and as they were treating Kimberly online, they also ensured that some customers rep can also speak with Kimberly to give her some human touch there, and then she's satisfied, and she's so much satisfied that when I asked that which service you like, she mentioned the name of the company, NCB. Yeah? As a matter of fact, she said that there are other institutions which maybe are the competition, but they were not offering the online activity, and Kimberly was not willing to go in person. Now, please reflect on this very basic but very useful example. Yes, please reflect on this. Is there anything which NCB did which other companies are not really doing? Yes, there is a competition which Kimberly mentioned, which is maybe not doing it. But generally speaking, you would realize that online transactions, many financial institutions are offering that. Many financial institutions are giving some type of human touch also. So if you look at on a global scheme of things, you would realize that NCB per se did not do anything which is like exceptional, or which is something uh, uh, outside of the scope or scheme of things in terms of COVID-19. Banks are saying that you can even open bank accounts, I trust, online without coming to the bank in person. Some banks are offering that. So if you look at overall scheme of things, NCB did not do anything very exceptional, but still they were able to satisfy the client. Yeah, this is very interesting thing to reflect on, that to give customer good experience, to give a customer good experience, you don't necessarily have to do things which are like crazy. Even doing some of the basic things, looking at the environment, what the environment requires. For example, COVID-19, people would not be comfortable coming in house. Give them service online as they are doing their thing online. Also give them some type of human interaction. If they have any question or they get stuck, they can come, they can speak with some human interface, and then that is it. Nothing so exceptional. But still, if you look at Kimberly's example, she very nicely mentioned that there is a competition which is not even doing that. Yeah, please reflect on this, that to satisfy a customer, you can satisfy customer experience by giving them basic standardized something. You don't necessarily have to go out of the scope and scheme of things. On the same note, please also appreciate what Kimberly said, that there are other banks or other institutions which are not even doing that. So you, so the follow-up question would be from you guys, why is it that NCB is doing that basic thing, open online portal, have a human interface, and make Kimberly happy? What is the big deal about that? That is how things are in the COVID-19 affair of things. Local restaurants, you just, any restaurant, you can just call them and they are going to take your order, and then you can go and pick it up. This was not happening in the way how it is happening now before COVID-19, because businesses are and continuously changing their ease of doing business, if I can call it ease in one way or another. But anyways, why is it that the other institution, which Kimberly did not name, and we don't necessarily have to name it, it's okay, we are not discussing the company itself, we are trying to understand customer experience. So why is it that the competition was not even doing the basic things which NCB did? Why they did not do it? What do you think? What is going on there? Any thoughts on that? Maybe the answer is not coming right away, but the idea is not necessarily to find the answer, because answers come in their own time. The idea is to ask questions and keep thinking on them as we go through the semester and even beyond that, because idea is not to pass the course, just pass the course. Idea is to really go deep into these type of questions and really understand what is quality service all about. Um, think about it, and if something comes in your mind, you can let us know so we can learn from each other. Yes, so coming back to the title of the book, it would be, so what I'm trying to say is that you need to reflect on the management. So sometimes experience will go up, sometimes experience will go down, but overall the quality of the customer experience should be satisfactory. And then I asked you, what what is the type of service which you like and why you like it and what are the characteristics. uh, Please please continue thinking on those lines, that which service you like, why you like it, and then ask yourself these type of questions, that are, yes, you like them, but are they really doing something exceptional? Are they doing something which others are not doing? What are they really doing? I like them, yes, but do I like them because uh, other competition is not performing well, or I like them because they are really good and they are really trying to understand me and really delivering me, uh, meeting my needs and those type of things. Also, please think about this, and this is the a strategic framework. So all the things which you will uh, read in this book, they are going to essentially, what it means, that you can create a strategic framework to meet your targets of risk management based on your needs and so on. The foreword is written by Honorable Philip Kotler. Is the top guy, I think, in marketing courses. He has done a lot of work in that. So the foreword of the book is written by Honorable Kotler. Yes. Um, we are going to start chapter number 1 in a bit, but I think that um, the pages before the chapter starts, it is worth uh, going through them and looking at them, and I think that is how one should start the book. Yeah. Look at this. Let me, although I see all the people, I seem familiar with them, but this is what I'm doing. You guys are required to read the book cover to cover. I'm giving you some guided readings. I will highlight a couple of things from the book as you are reading the book from page 1 to page last. uh, you are reading everything, but as you are reading, you are thinking about the pointers which I made. There are around 627 pages of this book, so you need to start as early as possible. Yes. The advice, look at this, the highlighted section. The advice and strategies contained herein may not be suitable for your situation. You should consult with a professional where appropriate. These are some things written by the book author. So many things you would see in the book about service management, many things I will say about service management, but nothing is binding, nothing is final word. We are just trying to exchange our opinion on service management, and whatever the situation is, the person in charge would have to look at it and then analyze, evaluate what it is. Yes, Justine, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Just wanted to ask, is the book on the Orvially course portal, or
Yes,
do we?
of course.
Okay,
It is
okay,
it
great.
is in the website. Okay, so
No problem.
principles of managing customer experience and relationship. You would be looking at that. Evolution of relationship with customers, strategic customer experience. Yes. What is a relationship? You would want to think about that. Yes. Yeah. We all are familiar with the term relationship, but in terms of customer, I try to explain some of the things as I was discussing the title, customer relationship. But we would like to go a little bit down. Who is the customer? You might think that you know these things. That what is a relationship? What is the customer? It's very obvious, yes. But don't think that, please, because when you will read the book, the way they have explained it, you will get more interesting insight into how one should view relationship, how one should view customers in terms of service management. And every now and then you are going to see, technology's role in improving customer experience and so on. The thinking behind customer relationship that leads to good experience, the thinking, yeah, the mindset, what type of mindset is required to improve customer experience. So you could answer the question I asked you a while ago, that why other company, which is NCB's competition, they are not giving the online environment or platform to Kimberly, although they should be able to do that. But what is the reason? So there can be many reasons. It can be that they are not ready for it. Maybe they don't have technology to support. They have not been investing in that type of thing. There can be so many things. It can be security. It can be, but one thing can be the thinking, the mindset of the people who are working or running that institution, the manager and so on. It could be that. But before I go ahead, I want a couple of more examples on the same question which Kimberly answered. Please help me understand, help us understand what service you really like, and why did you really like it. If a couple of people can take that. Lewis, Felicia, Justine, Kean, Kim, Christina, which service you guys like or liked? Or why did you like it? Give us some examples. That is important, I think. Is there any service which you like or liked in the past? Why did you like it? What made you like that service? Simple question.
I think, sir, it's difficult to talk on things that we like because sometimes it's easier to remember the faults or the problems.
Okay, all
So
right,
I
beautiful.
think, yes. So I think that's probably a challenge that a lot of us probably are facing.
That is that is very
So
that is
in
very interesting.
so unfortunately, instead of talking about what we like, I guess
Yes.
doing the opposite, we can point out
Please
what
go
we
ahead.
would have liked. So for
Please go ahead.
instance, I have experienced in many different local companies. Something that I didn't like, which could have been better, probably was communication. How communication was done between me and a representative of the company. So
Yes.
probably there was poor communication, so I didn't like that.
Mhm.
And then
All
that would
right.
have been good service if the communication was better.
Okay.
Like communicating when I was going to get my product, or communicating if the product was late, why it was late, different things like
Hmm.
that.
Very
Right.
interesting. Very interesting. Justine, what was the problem with the company? Why they could not communicate in a better way? What was their problem based on your understanding? Communication is basic thing. Why they were struggling in that?
So, for example, I used a shipping company to get products delivered because I ordered some things overseas, and it
Yes.
wasn't communicated, when the product was coming or arriving. And I think they they struggled with that communication because
Yeah.
their way of doing things, their process was off. So their system just didn't include communication. So
Very
yeah, so I guess they don't have a means of that figured out, that's a thing they should invest in, communicating with the client, via,
yes.
I don't know,
Yes.
message or WhatsApp or calling
Very
me,
interesting.
or
Very
putting
interesting.
it up online. So that would help.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, just let you know. They should just let you know what is happening. Where is what is happening in the supply chain management. Yes,
exactly.
good, beautiful. Thanks very much, Justine. So please reflect on this example again. Is Justine asking for something which is like never heard of before? Is she a customer which is being hard to please? Is she asking too much? Nothing like that. It's the basic requirement. which she's asking. Just let me know what is happening. That is what she's asking, and the company cannot do that. So again, think about it, customer experience. And in both the example, NCB example and the example Justine gave, both times you would realize that the customers were not asking for anything extraordinary. Just give them the basics, and you will turn that customer in a satisfied customer. He will be satisfied. He'll say, all right, okay, I got what I was asking for. Still companies are unable to do those basic things, and the situation gets worst. And this is how it gets worst. When I'm asking you, please give me some example of any company which you like the services. Justine was saying that maybe it would be hard to find some company which we really like. So it would be best to ask us that which company, which service you did not like and how they could improve. Good point there. But then see, look at this, that it can be even hard to think how sad it is. Please take a moment to reflect on this. How sad it is. And it can be hard that for us to just quickly come up with a service which we really like as a consumer. And then the ones which we like NCB or whatever, we like them because they just did the basics, just the basics. Just by doing the basics, they came into our book of liking. Please reflect on these things. Yeah, the thinking behind customer. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Christine. Please, guys, when I ask you, please contribute in the discussion. That is how both of us. I will benefit from what you have to tell, and you will benefit what I can share with you, because many times when you say something that triggers my mind, and I'm able to share my thoughts. Otherwise, I sometimes it is a challenge. Customer relationship, trust, and so on. So what I'm trying to say, that in your own time, even before you start reading the book, you should just scan through these chapters. What are the things they are talking about? Identifying customers, and what are the things? What does identify mean? So you know what identify mean, you know what relationship mean, but you need to understand it from the lens of quality service management. So that is why it is important to look into these things. But for now, I'm just saying that even before you start reading the book in itself, any book, whatever book you are reading, always spend some time just going through the chapters, just like this, scanning through them. That gives you an overall idea of what are the things which are there. For example, customer loyalty. Yeah, customer loyalty. Yeah, you can get customers satisfied by giving them the basic things, just like NCB satisfied Kimberly, and she's a satisfied customer. And if the shipping company would do those basic things like communicating properly with Justine, she would be a satisfied customer. But what if a new shipping company comes, and they start doing more than what Justine was thinking? A new financial institution which start giving more than what Kimberly was doing. Before you know, customer is going to go to the next party because they were satisfied. It does not mean that they were loyal. Were satisfied does not mean, it's like think about your own relationship with someone. You are satisfied with the relationship, the other party is satisfied with the relationship. Are they also loyal or not? There are different dynamics of loyalty, there are different dynamics of satisfaction. So as a business, because we are talking about quality business, quality service management, The idea is that just satisfying is maybe not enough always. Yeah. Analytics, I think this is very important area to reflect on. Overall, data is gaining more and more weightage in all business activities. So uh, it is always good to gain some skills in analytics and data and so on. If you are interested in making career in service management or marketing, or these things are quite linked. But anyways, scan through the chapter. For example, here, future proofing, the customer centric organ, future proofing. So it is always good to find some, you might like shipping business, or you might like financial institutions, NCB and so on. So whatever you like, look at how you can future proof the customer service in that industry, in your industry, whatever your industry is. Yeah. For example, I'm interested in education. I'm interested in higher education. So that is why I always look out for anything I can learn on future proofing the customer service in terms of university to university, or university to different stakeholders, which include students and other lecturers, and if I need to research, collaborate across different continents, across different universities and so on. So how to build that type of service relationship among universities. Yeah. Forward, as I mentioned, who wrote the forward? Anyone remembers? Kotler, Philip Kotler wrote this forward. So please take time and read this forward. What is he saying in that? Getting better at consumer marketing. Because he is marketing specialist, so he would want to talk a little bit about that. For example, look at this. As customer database marketing grew, several different names came to describe it, including individualized marketing, customer intimacy, technology-enabled marketing, dialogue marketing, interactive marketing, permission marketing, and one-on-one marketing. You might be familiar on these terms from your marketing course. But even if you are not, you should run Google searches on this. What is interactive market? What is customer intimacy, and so on? Please run Google searches on this. This is very interesting. Technology enabled marketing, and we are. You just need to look at the definitions. You will find out that companies are targeting us using these, using our data and using these type of marketing techniques. For example, technology enabled. There are many examples, but you need to think about examples in your own time. CRM, you must have heard this term, CRM, customer relationship marketing. What I wanted to highlight here is that CRM is not just a software package. Yes, it is a software, but it is just not that. CRM is an entire philosophy, and by the time we do a couple of, even by the end of today's session, I'm sure that you would understand why I really took time to highlight this. CRM is an entire philosophy. It is not just a software, because software is just giving you data. What you do with that data is extremely important, because think about it. Kimberly mentioned that uh, some other company, NCB's competition, or some other company, Kimberly maybe tried to reach them and maybe wanted to do business with them, but they said that you have to come in-house. But and they did not do online. That is fine. There can be, as I was saying, there can be various reasons. and they should not go online until they develop some type of capability and capacity to deal with the customers online, because they might start online and take Kimberly, and then Kimberly finds that, oh, they were not ready and there are so many problems, so that is even worse. So in one way they did the right thing, but what I'm trying to say is that that company knows that there is a client, Kimberly, she wanted to do online, we could not do it, and Kimberly went to some other company, NCB. But that information is with that company, that someone came and they wanted to do online or whatever. We could not do it. What are they doing with that information? I think that is very important. You can, you can. Nothing is wrong in failing, if you ask me. Well, yes, everything is wrong in failing. No one should fail. Everyone should succeed. But if you fail, nothing is wrong in failing if you learn from that failure and become a better person. Failure is only bad when you give up. Failure is only bad when you think this is not for you or whatever. If you don't, if it does something bad in the sense that you give up, only then failure is bad, in this type of example which Kimberly gave. But if that institution can learn from that failure, if they can improve their whatever is happening online, if they can study how NCB is taking care in the times of COVID, how other institutions are performing, and then from there they can maybe do some investigation, what were the hiccups or problems NCB and other companies faced, and how they improve that, what are the issues customers are facing, and improve that, and then launch their product. Then yes, it was failure and they did lose clients in the beginning, and it is easier to get clients in the beginning. And once a client goes to NCB, yes, it would be harder for that client to come back. All those things are correct. But for the new business which can come, uh, that can be uh, a big positive for the company. Same thing with the shipping example. Justine was giving a very interesting example, because yes, they did not do well in the communication portion, but they know that this is some issue, and because of the messaging which maybe Justine was sending them, and they were not replying on time, and so on. So they know what the problem is. Now they need to do something about it. If they don't do something about it, then what is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. Same thing is with CRM, customer relationship management. The software is maybe going to identify a couple of things there, but if the company is not willing to do something about it for one reason or another, then investing in CRM, you will have some information, but you're not taking much usefulness from that information. Right executive leadership, that is what you would require. A CRM program is typically 45% dependent on the right executive leadership. So if the leader has the right mindset, as I was trying to explain, what you are going to do with that data, only then you will be benefiting from that. More of today's companies are focused on share of customers, namely increasing their business with each existing customer. Yeah, so please reflect on that. More of today's companies focusing on share of customer, how much market they are capturing, how they are increasing their business with each existing customer. But you need to think about that. Is that enough? Uh, uh, and look into these terminologies: customer retention, customer loyalty, and customer satisfaction. I've already made some points on them. CRM, this approach requires new skills, systems, processes, and employee mindsets. Very important. Because if you remember Justine's example, she said that maybe in the whatever the company was doing, the shipping company, the communication portion was not even in their processes. Look at this, processes. So required new skills would be required. Are the people who are dealing with your the service staff who are dealing with your customers, are they willing to learn new skills? That would be very important. uh, how good are the systems? Will you be able to improve those systems, and so on? And most importantly, employee mindset. A company can have so many things on a piece of paper and they want to do those things, but what is the employee mindset? The people who are interacting with the customer, what is their mindset? uh, are they someone who are going to give the minimum, or they are someone who are going to go beyond the call of their duty? Are they someone who are just going to do or deliver on the job description, or they want to really help the customer in doing whatever customer wants to do? Yeah. Employee mindset, extremely important. Please reflect on this as much as possible. Many times what happens is that the company has very good quality service management, very good ideas and booklets on how to satisfy the customer and delight the customer and so on, but the people who are dealing with the customers, they don't have the right mindset. um, and it is sad. Justine gave example of the shipping company, and she was not happy with the communication, but she is talking with the people who are working for the company. I am sure that if Justine finds the owner of the company or someone higher up and tell them what is happening, they would want to do something about it, at least know about it or whatever. Uh, but um, that again is going to take a lot of effort from the side of the customer, and many times the customer just gives up, and if it's not treated properly. Think about your own situations. um, can anyone give any example where you think that the worker or the customer rep did not do a good job? As Justine was saying, that maybe it is easy to talk about things which did not go well, so let me try it that way. Can anyone give some example where the customer rep or the service rep or the employee with the company you are engaging, they did not had the right mindset, they did not do a good job, which impacted you? Anything on that? Any ideas?
Well, I can, sir. I had an experience at one of the KFC locations in Port Moore, and
Yes.
it was just astounding, like the lack of customer service from everyone,
Yes. Yes.
even the person who was supposed to be the supervisor. The
All
security,
right.
the security that was monitoring the door,
Yes.
person was standing outside in line. He came, he locked the door and didn't say anything to anyone until
Yes.
someone asked him why you're closing the door, and he said, "Oh, the place closed at 6:30, so I'm closing the door." With
Yes.
persons who are standing outside who were there before 6:30, the
Yes.
supervisor came. He was a bit disrespectful, but then
Yes.
when you went inside, the persons who were supposed to be offering you service were also
Yes.
disrespectful. You said,
Yes.
"Excuse me," and no one pays you any mind. They literally say nothing. They pretend
My
like
God.
they don't hear you. And they
Yes.
didn't really respond to anybody until a few persons started cursing and cursing them out. And at that point, they were
Yes.
upset that the persons were behaving that way. But then
Yes.
everyone who tried to talk to them calmly, they basically ignored everyone, put down things, just disrespectfully put down like juice and food. They ran out of certain things, and instead of saying to, like, my friend and I ordered particular flavors of chicken.
Hmm.
They just gave us the box with chicken in
Hmm.
it. And when we looked, it wasn't what we ordered. And when we
Hmm.
asked the young lady, like, what happened? What happened to what we ordered? Oh, we don't have it.
Hmm.
No one
That's
said,
very
okay, so we don't have this, which is different from other locations that I've been to. When they don't
yes,
have it, the
yes,
representative usually says, look, we ran out of barbecue or we ran out of spicy. So
yes.
here, what would you like instead? They didn't do that. They just loaded the bucket with what they felt like loading it with and just handed it to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, very interesting example. If
It
I
was
can ask
terrible.
you, what do you think? What are a couple of things which they could do to not have that type of situation? What could they do? Like one thing is obviously the communication was poor. They could just communicate a little bit with the customers who are standing in lines. That could be one thing. What are a couple of things which they could do easily and mitigate this challenging situation from their side?
Well, generally, I think most of the persons who were there working didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
I
yeah, 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 yeah,
don't think they wanted to be there, but it
yeah. They
was
would.
it was. I think the main source of their disappointment was that they thought the place was supposed to be closed earlier, and
Yeah,
they were there longer than they wanted to be. So
yeah,
they were letting their frustration at being there
yeah.
overshadow the service that they were offering.
What a beautiful line. Very, very beautiful. I think that is the takeaway from whatever we have discussed, if there is any. Thank you very much, Lewis, for this. So please reflect on this, which what Lewis said, that the people who were there uh, from the company side, they did not really want. They did not want to be there. They did not want to be there. They were not happy with their job. They did not like maybe the company, their working environment, whatever it is. They did not want to be there, and you are putting a company is putting their workers uh, with the salary, with the working environment in a place where they don't want to be. So no matter how good the quality of the food is, these things are going to happen because those people are there because they do not want to be there. They are not enjoying their job. They are not meant to be service reps. That thing, they might be very good in other things, but service is not their thing. Satisfying their customer is not their thing, and they are just. I don't need to repeat what Lewis was saying, but uh, just for the sake of it, like putting any piece of chicken or any flavor of chicken, whatever they can find, and not finding what the customer really asked. These things happen. Uh, so in one way, how to deal with all these type of challenges, Lewis has explained us that in a very nice way, if you think about it. To mitigate all these challenges, one thing which you can do is putting the right people at the right job, right fit for the job, right fit for the job. You have to be fit for that job. Your personality, your temperament, your attitude, your mindset. If you have that type of mindset which is compatible with the service you are giving, you really enjoy that and you take pride in that and you want to do it, uh, not just for the money, but you want to do it because you want to do it, then these type of challenges are maybe going to decrease because you are enjoying your job, you are enjoying dealing with customers, and you are going to look into these things, and you won't let your customer get dissatisfied very easily. Again, if you look at this example of Lewis, she was not asking for anything extraordinary. She is not asking for the company to bring moon on land for her. That is not what she is asking. Basic things, and the companies are unable to fulfill that. Um, what she was saying was too much. Uh, he was definitely not dealt properly on that day or on that location. Uh, this reminds me, let me also share one example. It came in my mind. Um, I am pretty fond of fish sandwiches, and KFC in their Lent season, they do offer in those 40 days, they do offer fish sandwiches. So I was driving in Ligny side, and I saw I saw KFC and the advertisement, and I said, all right, let's have fish sandwich. And it was big advertised on the glass and everything, and it was a long line, as you could imagine that people are very fond of KFC, although it is not healthy food, but that is for another time. So I joined the line, and uh, by the time I reached there, it was like I had to wait a little bit, and then I asked for my fish sandwich, and the the customer rep said very dryly that we don't have that. So I said, all right, you could maybe put a note or something, which some other establishments they do that, and they would put a note, or maybe come outside when the lines are very long, and maybe sometimes they ask you that what are you going to order, especially since COVID times. I have had that experience also in another fast food establishment. Uh, so they came out and asked us what do we really want, and then uh, they told us what would be available and what is not available, and all of that communication. But then on that KFC experience, it did not happen there, especially in the context where they had a big billboard sign for their, and they were promoting their fish sandwich for the Lent season and so on. So that would kind of frustrate the. So these situations can very easily be managed if the people who are working in that environment, they really enjoy their job, they like it, they are thinking from what the customer would be thinking about in that time, and they take some type of, they have some type of connection with the customer, and then these issues are not something which are rocket science. If you have people passionate about their job, interested in their job, then it is very much possible. Why do you think, is what I'm saying, is it something which the top management of these businesses, they don't know this and only I know this? No, that is not true. They can just read this one book and they will know all about service quality management, although they should read more and talk with the experts. But just by reading couple of books, they can, and listening to couple of lectures, they can at least look at the basics. Just this conversation which we had in the last 1 hour, if someone do these things in their business, the basic things, the basic examples which you guys gave very nicely, they can satisfy their customers, at least, if not win them into the loyalty segment, at least satisfy the customer. They are unable to do that, and uh, this would make you think that how this topic of conversation quality service management, how it is linked with other courses. For example, how it would be linked with your course in human resource management, finding the right talent for the right job, which fits in the culture. Because someone can be very knowledgeable, but if they are not right fit for the job, then it can be very very tedious. Uh, one very interesting example into my head. I was in overseas universities for my studies, and they had very good top of the line professors, and they were teaching the courses on which they have written books, and they would be teaching their own books. Like imagine that uh, it would be like something like this book, the book we are going through, if it is taught by the person who wrote it or the team of people who wrote it, how would be your experience? It would be phenomenal. Maybe you might think that, but what I realized is that those professors were very good in research and writing books and all of those things, but when it comes to this type of conversation or communication, and they were not really too much interested or enthusiastic, or I don't know what was the reason, but I thought that I would enjoy because that professor is coming and this is his own book, so it would be a lot of fun, but it was not. So what I'm trying to say, that the person can be very competent, very knowledgeable, but whatever service you want that person to give, you want to think that is that person also good fit for that job. Would they really like doing that job, or it is kind of a forced job which they have to do for salary or whatever? That I think is very important. Many times what companies, even in local market, you will see that they would want certain certain qualifications. And yes, I'm not saying that the degree is not important. Having a master's in service management, of course it is good that if you have the master's, but even if you have a bachelor's degree and you are passionate about delivering good to your customers and you are excited about that, I think that person is going to perform far better than a person who might have extra qualifications but really not enjoy their job. Because when you are enjoying your job, other people are feel it. You don't have to tell other people that I am enjoying my job. Other people are going to feel it without you telling them, and this is something which if you are enjoying, then it has impact on the other people working around you, and it helps in building culture and other things which you might have studied in organizational behavior, so on. So what I'm saying is that link the concepts across the across the courses. uh, but again, I would like to reiterate this point which Lewis made, that those people in her example, they did not want to be there. So as a manager, when you take this some senior level position where you are managing the position, I think just by looking at like the people you are managing, 5 people, let's say, if you need to find out of these 5 people, are they enjoying their work? Do are they doing it for something more than their salary? Do they like their job or not? Just that thing, if you put the people in the jobs where they like it, they enjoy it, they want to do it, it is going to change all the dynamics. It is going to have impact on the employee mindset. Yes, please think about that. Philip Kotler, if you don't know who the person is widely known as the father of modern marketing. He's the father of modern marketing. Yeah, his textbook, Marketing Management, have become the foundational text of marketing courses around the globe. Yes, so this is, we shared some of the things which he mentioned. That is why it is very important to read complete forward and try to reflect on each line as you are uh, going through that. And it is a very easy to read book. It is not a hard book. Easy to read, very user friendly. So I really encourage you that you start as soon as possible. Increasingly, companies are coming face to face with the question of how to optimize their business. businesses around individual customers. You need to think about that. So you guys mentioned some challenges, but the idea is that going forward, that individual customers are there, how to optimize your business around those customers, looking at that customer need, what is happening with that customer. So for example, in the what Kim was mentioning about NCB and the other company would have some knowledge about Kimberly, that she came and she was asking for online activity, whatever she needs to do in the financial institution, and we did not have that. Now, if they can link again with Kimberly, reach out to her and ask her what else you are talking about online, this activity. What other activity you would be willing to enjoy or take if we offer? What is something which is maybe you want and it is not easily available in the market? Please tell us that. And they would want to do this with the high value clients, high value customers, uh, the customer from where they are making a lot of profit. So not with every customer, it is not feasible, but with the um, high worth clientele. And don't worry if there is something which you are looking and it is not making 100% sense, because you have not started reading it first, that, and then many things are linked. So as I think, as you go into fourth, fifth, sixth chapters, by then you would start linking various ideas mentioned in the book, and by that time you should be fine. What is the right communication or offer for this customer at this time? This is a very interesting question to think about. So you might know that this is the communication with this customer likes. For example, emails. Maybe the person is good with emails instead of phone calls. But please remember that uh, communication style is also time sensitive, and customers change also, just like any other human being. Customers are also regular human beings, so their preferences, their styles, their requirements change. So you need to think about the right communication, and you need to think about at this time, what type of, in this time and space, how they would like to be communicated. And if you think about why NCB, in the example of Kimberly, why NCB was able to give her the online thing, because this is what they were thinking. Right communication by adding a human interface, a customer rep with which Kimberly can talk. That was one. And in this time is COVID time, so giving them some online offer. This is very interesting. These are very interesting concepts. Return on investments, you must be familiar with that. I'm leaving you with this another one, return on customer, ROC. Not sure if you have heard this term before or not, but please run a Google search on that, return on customer, and try to understand what it is. Basic IDIC model. What is IDIC model? Identify. We are of course talking about customers. Identify, differentiate, interact, and then customize. Yeah. So it is not just, you're not just meeting the basic requirements, but you want to maybe exceed the requirements of the customer, or not. CX. What is CX? Customer experience. These type of terminologies you might want to keep in your mind. This, we are going through forward. We have not yet started the real chapter. So in the forward, the authors are saying that while we hope this work will continue to guide and teach our readers, we also encourage our readers to continue to teach us. Yes, our goal is not just to build the most useful learning tool available on the subject, but to continue improving it as well. They want to, they understand that they have the book, yes, but the insight which they can get from the from the people like you and me, what we can tell them, maybe they have not thought about that in the same way. For example, I have been reading this book. I started this book. I have not finished reading it, of course, but just to let you know that I'm not just asking you guys to read. I am also reading it. It is just that I am a little maybe ahead, unless you have already read this book somewhere, which I kind of doubt. Not that you cannot read, but I know that many friends are not into reading too much. But like, for example, Lewis was mentioned, and I wrote that line, don't want to be there. I wrote it on my notes. That line really touched me, that I asked her that what they could do. So she said, maybe they don't want to be there. Simple, straightforward thing. They just don't want to be there. The workers, the customer rep, they don't want to be there. That is the reason. So maybe Lewis can send an email here, which will reach to the authors, and maybe give this idea, because this is an interesting idea, that they just don't want to be there. Write, add some pages that why it is important that people who don't want to be there, don't put them there, because they are going to really mess up your customer relationship. So, but I've not seen that. Maybe it will come later down somewhere, but I don't think they are talking it in the way Lewis casually said. She said it very casually, but I think that is a very heavy line to think about. And I want to really reiterate, although I've said it, I think, twice, but I should say it one more time, that put the right people in the right place, not just in the customer service, not just in service management, quality service, anywhere. And put yourself also in the right place, because think about it, if you are at a place where you are not enjoying, for example, if you don't really want to be in this environment right now, and you want to do something else, but you are here and you don't want to be here, then see how miserable your life would be. You would not be paying attention to what we are trying to do. You would not be happy, all of those things. But think about it, that you are here, you have to do this, but you also want to do it. You also want to contribute to the discussion. You also want to share your ideas. Then it will be very easy for you to exchange ideas and so on. And it will overall impact our experience of our interaction, if you guys will also speak and enjoy it, and all of those things. You will make some pointers, you will add to the discussion, that will increase overall experience. But if the friends are not happy to be here, and they are saying, oh my god, what is this, we have to read the book, come on, how we can't do that, then it is going to have a different type of experience. That is why what Lewis said is very important. How to use this book? Always spend time in looking at it. They have given you some ideas how you can best use it. Acknowledgement section, important to read this also, to get an understanding how many different people have contributed to that. And you can run some Google searches on those people also, that will create the credibility for this book for you. And that is very important, because the more you would think that this book is written by some really top people and a lot has gone through this book, then your interest would maybe hopefully increase in looking at it, and you would maybe pay more attention to what they are saying. And even if you don't agree with some points which they are making, you would still find a moment to at least reflect on that. So about the authors, they have developed many of the principles of the customer relationship management field. They are world's #1 most influential authorities on customer experience management. Yeah, world's #1. Yeah, and you can verify that. And so please What I'm trying to say that before you start reading the chapters, spend some time in reading the earlier sections, no matter which book you are looking at. With this, we are concluding this